Hello there everyone, welcome to this week's Gran Turismo 7 Daily Race and Strategy Guide, where we're off to Mount Panorama, better known as Bathurst in Australia, and we are in specific Group 4 machinery, and that specific is that it is the FF cars, the front engine, front wheel drive cars. For example, your VW Scirocco, your Mazda 3, your Renault Megane, we've got the Suzuki Swift, the Peugeot RCZ, and I think there is another couple as well, the Audi TT. Settings for this one are 9 laps to get around. We've got tyre wear at ×4, fuel at ×2, not ×1 if I've put on the screen. It's the racing medium tyres. There is a mandatory pit stop in this one. BOP is on, damage is light, there is a grid start for a full start check. Slipstream is custom, and your settings allowed are the brake balance. So I think this is quite an interesting race. I've always been saying, I said for a long time, that they kind of need to sort of narrow the car choice down in order to try and make the BOP better, but there might be a problem car out of the ones that we have in this one. We'll talk about that when we move on to the race. With those settings, the first thing I wanted to check was how much time do we save if we don't change the tyres. So coming into the pit lane here at Mount Panorama, let's take a wee stop in the pits, don't change the tyres, we are stationary for 2.5 seconds. Blinking, you might have missed it there to be fair. If we change the tyres, we are stationary for 4.1, so it's only a saving of 1.6 seconds to change those tyres. And I think that's going to be critical in this race going forward. Let's jump into the race action though, and we are starting down in P13. We are in the Renault Megane, the FF Renault Megane, in a sea of Mazda 3s and Scirocco's. So as a grid start for a full start check, so obviously you have to make sure you don't jump the start, but yeah, things very quickly go wrong here at the start. Very, very tight grid, not a long run down into turn 1, and yeah, we get punted into turn 1 here. We survive it though, we move up into P9, so it's a good start overall, but yes, there's going to be chaos into that turn 1 in many, many races. We did use traction control to get off the line, get the brake balance up to +5 for these FF cars, generally is the way to go, and we're looking pretty good as we go down into turn 2 here, but then we get a little bit of a punt again from behind, we get pushed wide, and the Austrian goes through. And yeah, close your eyes here folks if you don't want to see a murder, because I was not very happy with that one, because this very same driver actually was the one that hit me into turn 1 as well. So yeah, as we exit turn 3 or turn 4, whatever it is there, we just decide to not leave a great deal of space and put the Austrian into the wall. Yeah, you can judge me if you want, I shouldn't have done it. There's no need for doing that, you know, I get it, but yeah, sometimes the red mist just descends, and that was a case for me with the red mist that did descend. As I said, that driver hit me into turn 1, just kind of barreled into turn 1 without hitting the brakes pretty much, and then claimed that they got punted into me into turn 2, but actually what happens is they actually hit me and then got a slight punt, so I wasn't feeling too bad after watching the replay. But let's get back to the race in hand. We have jumped forward to lap 2, moved up into P8, courtesy of a driver going wide at around about Skyline on lap 1, and we're in the slipstream here as we go down the back straight towards the chase. Going to get a nice slipstream here, obviously that custom slipstream very, very strong indeed. We're going to go to the left hand side, and I thought we should be able to kind of just get through the kink here, hit the brake zone, but we kind of got pushed a little bit wide onto the grass. Thankfully in an FF car we were able to kind of control the car. Thankfully we never managed to kill the 2 drivers in front of us, getting the car slowed down. I do think the Norwegian driver waited for us there as well, but I just decided, you know what, let's just get into the pits, get this pit stop done. Be very, very careful on the entry into the pit stop at Bathurst. You'll see many people get that one wrong, and I kind of swivered whether I was going to change the tyres or not, but I could already see from the tyre wear I was thinking those tyres are going to be awful if we don't change them. Let's just take the 1.6 second hit, change those tyres, and they should be reasonable towards the end, even though it's a very, very early pit stop. So into the pit box we get 4 wheels and tyres changed, 4.1 seconds, back out. No worries about crossing the white line in these Group 4 cars. From what I can tell, it can be a little bit dodgy sometimes, the way the car throws you out as you leave the pits at Bathurst. Overall, with a tyre change, your pit loss is going to be 19.5 seconds, and not changing the tyres around about 18 seconds, with fuel being no issue whatsoever. Now, not a great deal happened in my race after my pit stop. We moved up into P6 after most of the other drivers made their stops, and we were chasing this Russian driver down for a couple of laps, while trying to stay ahead of the Italian and the German behind in those Mazda 3s. So coming down to the back straight here for lap number 8. Now there is some cars up ahead still to pit, so I was optimistic we were maybe going to move a little bit further forward as well. But we got a little bit of a bonus here as the driver ahead serves a penalty. Obviously I've not got the names or the information above the drivers on this account, so I had no idea they had a penalty. That moved us up into P5, and then coming by the pit lane on the lap 8 here, people wait until the very end to make that pit stop. We moved up into P4, and that should have been it as we started the last lap here, but Kentish Gent up ahead has a little bit of trouble on this last lap. They were 5 seconds ahead, but you can see we are catching them rapidly, whilst also getting caught pretty rapidly by the Italian behind. The Italian with the fastest lap by a long way. Even though they had not changed their tyres, they were much faster than me at this point, but it looks like the Mazda 3 ahead is really struggling with the no tyre change. So coming down to the chase here for the last time. I was pretty happy with a 4th place. I just wanted to stay ahead of the Italian, but they really are struggling to get the power down in that Mazda 3 with those worn tyres. That kind of pit stop that we did on lap 2 really starting to benefit us now. We're going to take a look down round the outside here into, is this Murray's Corner? Hell Corner? It's one of those two. Murray's Corner might be turn 1. Kentish Gent gives us loads of room. Real racing respect there, and we managed to get the grip, get the power out of the last corner and move up into P3. Finishing time well over 20 minutes as well, so a very decent race length for daily race C. Let's just check how the tyres were looking on the various cars. So you've got Kentish Gent here with the no tyre change, you've got the Italian here with the no tyre change. I changed tyres on lap 2, and these drivers at the front here obviously pitted around about lap 4 or 5. So you can just see the difference in the tyre wear there between the various kind of strategies that you can do. And we're talking about strategies, let's just talk about them now. So you've got 2 choices in what you're going to do here. There is one that I'm going to recommend over the other one. You've got your no tyre change strategy. Now you only save 1.6 seconds in the pits, and you do get the flexibility to pit any lap. So you can pit on the first lap, you can pit on the last lap as well, or lap 8, don't pit on lap 9, but at the cost of pretty worn tyres at the end. The tyre change strategy, you're going to pit between laps 3 and 5 and change the tyres. It will cost you an additional 1.6 seconds in the pits, but the benefit of having those better tyres at the end, I think, are certainly worth it. It's not to say the no tyre change strategy can't work, but against drivers of equal speed and ability, you probably aren't going to be able to make that 1.6 seconds saving really work out very well for you. If you find yourself as the fastest driver in a lobby and you're maybe trying to get ahead of some slower drivers, then the no tyre change strategy can come into play. But my recommendation for this one is to change those tyres. The benefit of the fresh grip and the better grip at the end of the race will definitely eat up those 1.6 seconds that it will cost you extra in the pits. But that is pretty much it for this one. I think this is a pretty nice race, to be honest with you. Good race length, little bit of strategy in there, decent little combination. There is a danger that it's going to be very much a Mazda 3 one-make race very quickly. It does look like it's much quicker than anything else. Custom slipstream, well, you know my thoughts on that. It will help me to overtake. It's going to be pretty, you know, overpowered down the 2 long straights here as well. There is a danger the race could very much become a slipstream train as well. But yeah, overall, I'm going to give PD credit for this one because they have done some good things for this race, and I found it quite enjoyable in the race that I did, and we'll certainly jump in and do a few more as the week goes on. But hopefully the video has been useful in some way, shape or form. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Goodbye now.